Sometimes how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
Well,
I am not an African American.
You're an Oreo cookie. White in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro. I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I would slap you.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
888-77-JESSE. Let's go down to Corona, California and talk to Judy. Judy, good morning. Welcome to the show. Get it off your chest.
Oh, good morning. You know, I have been wanting to call for so long, and I have realized that, Jesse, you're out there, and I'm really realizing that you speak the truth. And my daughter and I were listening to some of the things that you were saying on the sermon that caught a lot of controversy.
Yes.
First of all, I want to let people know that I am a conservative, a proud stay-at-home conservative mom.
Right on.
And I love being a proud conservative stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
It allows me to be with my children.
That's right.
I admire you getting out there and speaking the truth. And at the same time, you know, I realize that you're a simple-minded man. And ever since I first listened to you, you speak very simple. You don't use a lot of big words. You mentioned that, you know, you're not one of these so-called educated people who've gone to school. And I have to put myself in that category. I'm a simple-minded person. And sometimes I'm afraid to speak up because I'm afraid that I don't speak. Maybe I'm not speaking as well as people try to make me feel. But when I was a free-spirited person and I was younger, I didn't have this speaking up problem.
Yes.
But I noticed that I have to speak up now. It is time, people. I'm not the best speaker in the world, but what I have in my heart to say is that there are decent women out there. And I know Jesse Peterson absolutely loves Republican women because if you're on the side of right, you make the right choices. You do the right things, the hard decisions. You want to be with your kids. You want to make sure your kids are decent human beings, Americans. And that's why I'm realizing it's like, wait a minute, I love my country. I love my kids. Those are two things that you love your family. Then you realize that these are reasons why I'm a conservative. I asked myself, because when I was also like you, when I was younger, I wasn't born, I wasn't raised a Republican. And I wondered, my dad, he's just out of few family members, and I mean very few, that are conservative. And I asked myself, why did I become a conservative? And the bottom line is because I do love my country.
Yep.
And the principles that it stands for are right. And when you stand for what is right, it just falls in place.
It does.
It does. And when you speak of these women who are liberal women, I know you're speaking of the liberal women because absolutely these liberal women are trying to destroy this country. I'm just a simple-minded person, but I'm well-hated by people who, I myself, because for my views, I ask them about, why do you hate Sarah Palin so much? What has she done? I think she's a wonderful woman.
That's right.
I love her for having the opportunity to keep. She had a choice. She made the most difficult choice in the world. She had a baby. She was pregnant with a baby, and she could have said, "Oh, you know what? This is going to be inconvenient.
Yeah.
This is going to be a Down syndrome baby. I gotta kill this baby. I gotta get rid of this baby." But she didn't. She stayed. And she stayed with her principles. She knew that no matter what, God would see her through this. She did the right thing. And she is a beautiful, principled woman. Same thing with Ann Romney, a stay-at-home mom who worked with her children. And I know that when you spoke of Ann Romney, you spoke of her like, oh, I'm so glad, I can't wait to get her in the White House.
That's right. I can't wait to throw Big Mama out of there and bring back some class into the White House.
Exactly. When she spoke, I started realizing, these women, I mean, you don't want to model after anybody, but you do realize that, I have so much respect for the decency of this country. And the opposite end, people like on The View, those women are vicious
No.
and angry. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, Jesse, you don't want to go up against these women. They're just like, they're just one-sided. It's speaking to a wall. You wouldn't get through to them. But maybe, just maybe, you might be able to, when you speak up about the liberal women, you could let other women see what they're all about.
Yes. I
So-
would love to go into the lion's den.
But see, that's good because now that I'm calm now, see, Jesse, I have to tell you, whenever you speak and people listen to you speak, when you speak about truth and principle, it is very simple. You're just speaking your simple-minded words. You're just speaking in a simple term. And I used to think, oh, well, people understand. But I have to have people know that when you are speaking on principle, it is right on. For my daughter, my daughter here that I work with, she basically could hear a little bit about what you're saying, and you say, women, when they're in power, it just kind of, it's just not a good situation. She said, you could say that again, and she can see that for herself.
Yes.
And I can tell you that it is a pleasure to be a proud listener and sponsor to your program and your show.
Right
People
on.
don't know what you're all about. They don't know that you help people. You help young children. Many kids Jesse has helped. And I'm literally just finding out about the reality of what you're about.
Right
and
on.
that you're a good person, a decent person who has helped many young children, and your views on Republican women are right on, because I know you love Republican women, and that you love the stay-at-home mom. You know many good, decent Republican women, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I just wanted you to kind of explain your view, because in the sense that, how you have respect for certain women that are in power, and yet there are good women, like, let's just maybe speak of Sarah Palin, and, basically, someone might say, well, Sarah Palin's a woman who was in power, and, she basically is someone who, is a woman, and, she speaks, but it's like, do you hate her too? Or do you say that she is not to be a woman of power, she shouldn't be, in that position?
One thing that I appreciate about Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann, and they are women in power. They love their fathers. They love their fathers, so they don't hate men.
Yeah.
And when women don't hate men, they love God, and they are more.
True.
They are more likely to do the right thing. They do what's best for the family. The decisions that they make are good for families, fathers and mothers together, children with both parents. Conservative women don't need $3,000 to have sex 3 times a day with men out of wedlock. Liberal women hate men. They hate God. Because they hate their fathers, they hate men, and they hate God. And when they get power, they bring hell into our lives, into the country, instead of heaven. Michelle Bachmann acknowledged that her husband was her head.
Yep.
And so you can't, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you just said it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And I will continue listening and supporting and starting to speak up a lot more, because this
Please
is very
do.
good.
We absolutely need you to speak up.
That is right. And I'm encouraged by you, Jesse. I'm telling you that right now. And you and good men like you. But it's like all those people who out there, we know we have a point of view. We do need to speak up.
Yes.
The time is now.
It's now.
And it is not, in our country, because we love our country, and we love the future, for the future of our children.
Yes.
We need to just do what needs to be done, and you're doing it every day. And I love you, and I will hope to see you guys soon.
All
And
right.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Judy. Great
All right.
call. I appreciate it. I definitely
Bye.
appreciate it.